Hi guys, we got us a barn find today. Thought I'd take you along on our little journey here. So I've spent a day uncovering this vehicle that we are going to try and get out and restore. It is a Buick Skylark that has been in this garage, barn, whatever you want to call it, pole building. It's been in here for 40 years. And it was piled up like this here. I've spent a day just trying to get it uncovered. And we're going to try and get her out here. All the wheels are flat. They're blown out. And I just uncovered the back of it. Looks like the paint might still be good, but I'll show you the interior in a minute. And over here we have a Studebaker. There's bumpers up there. So I don't know. Even got airplanes in here. Can't get to nothing, it's so piled up. Okay guys, all this stuff was piled on top of this car. A lot of antique stuff, but we're trying to get her up. I did manage to get, I believe this tire is going to hold air. I aired it up and it's holding air. This here I cannot lift up. It like had rubber on the bottom of it, and I don't know, it's like welded to the hood. We got an old Studebaker that's been here for 40 years. I don't know if the hood's on top. What's over the engine there? We'll see about getting that running next. But oh man, the window was down. That means any kind of critter that wanted to. Wonder where the keys are at. Oh man, look at the mold. Probably should wear a respirator. Look. So I wasn't kidding when I said stuff stacked up to the rafters, did I? We had a heck of a time jacking her up. But we're putting it on dollies to try and drag it out. And this one here I aired up. It looks like it appears to be holding air. But I keep hearing about they used to use rubber and stuff, and now it's more clay than rubber. A 40-year-old tire still holding air. Okay guys, I'm not a very smart man. I have these poles set at an angle like this because it keeps going sideways, and I don't understand how I can be pulling this direction and the whole thing keeps going sideways on me. Almost running into the side here. I don't know how that can be. The front wheels keep turning, so I get in there and I turn them straight. The dollies is the only thing I can think of. I don't know how you're supposed to. I still can't push this car. Both wheels spin freely. These dollies, they tell you you can jack a car up, move around the garage, are not working like they're supposed to. And that's the only thing I can think's making it go sideways on me, because, I'm pulling off at an angle like this. I'm pulling like this, and the car's going that way. Going that way. I can't believe that 40-year-old tires hold air. But I've winched it that far so far. Maybe you can see that I was trying to show you last night. Studebaker tires, been here for 40 years, and they're still aired up. Isn't that something? Guys, my elbow's killing me moving an inch at a time, so we hooked us an electric winch up to it. We're going to see how this works. I don't know. I'm going to bring it back on this pulley to get some mechanical advantage. So that should, I forget what the formula is. So that should give us some mechanical advantage. It's still going, it keeps going left on me, big time. Oh, and these dollies, luckily I had several. It's on plywood, and look, pulling it blew out the bearing. Alright, I do not recommend this set of dollies. Probably come from a tool, one of those tool shows or something, but anyways, I have to keep moving these poles. I've already bent one of mine really bad. But I think I figured out why these wheels keep turning on me. See this? The front wheel's locked up. See that? So, you know, it's a rear wheel drive, and front wheels are locked up. But see all this stuff? It was the oil pan and transmission was actually sitting on it when it went down. So it's 98 degrees out here and I'm melting down. These dollies ain't working like they're supposed to. See, the wheels keep turning on me. See, that's what happens. I'm pulling it back and the wheels turn sideways and just blow out. Hey guys, to get it out, I had to put a pole in here, run a cable to get more distance on it. I ran a chain, and I ran the cable off the winch from here under here to the back of the car, where it had a pulley and a hook, and then to that tower there till I got it back to about here. So I got poles all over the yard to pull from. Got us a used tire to put on one side. But this wheel, I laid strand board down, so these dollies had strand board going all the way, so these dollies would roll on it. This tire's completely locked up. I can't get it to turn at all. And once I put it on a dolly, I didn't have any problems. Still had to dolly that one. But then I hooked a come along from that pole right there to right there in the frame, because it was wanting to go sideways that way, and so I come along it from there to there and got it pulled up here out of the way. So now we need to try and drain the gas tank, I guess. I just don't know what to do. About this mold. But that's where I'm at now. We're going to drain the gas, put new gas in it, go ahead and we'll probably rebuild the carburetor, figure out what's wrong with that wheel so we can drive it out of here. Okay, here's where we're at now. I pried it away and pulled that adjuster, totally take the adjuster off. And the brakes, I pulled it away enough to get to the adjuster there, turned it all the way out, and I think I know what's happened. The brake cylinder has busted, and so all that brake fluid went between See, both brakes are loose and I still can't get this thing out of here. See, both brakes are loose. It still ain't coming out. I managed to pull it out enough and pop these off, which is what holds these. I don't know, you guys have done brakes before, right? There's a spring. Where did it go? There they are. The spring right there is what holds the brakes on, so I managed to pop these off and then pried it off. But what's happened is the wheel cylinders have all the fluids leaked out of them and rusted to the drum. So, and it did not do any good to run this all the way down, even though it still works. But I popped it out far enough to turn it all the way down, and it was still locked up. So at least now we can get her to turn. So I'm gonna put it back together and just leave those brakes off for now. Okay, bearing back on, dust cover back in there. Don't have any front brakes now, but a little bit. My next problem is I can't get the hood to raise. Now what are we gonna do? Oh my gosh. 40-year-old battery still in here. A Fram oil filter, which is the worst oil filters you can possibly have. Gonna have to rebuild this carburetor, I'm sure. Man, I wish new cars were this simple. Hey guys, I'm to the point now that we can get a vehicle in here and pull it out the rest of the way, but I couldn't get one in there, the angle. And anyways, using a lawnmower battery, a $60 Harbor Freight winch, which is actually a piece of crap. The line does not spool on there straight, and you need to winch it like half a spool. Any more than that and you get problems. It just does this. I do not recommend it. You got to sit here and feed it. So what helps a lot is having a come along, because there's no way to let the pressure off of this. When it's holding that car, you cannot pull this out. And when you do, when there is no pressure and you let that off, it spools out just like an open face fishing rod. I don't know if you've ever casted one and didn't put your thumb over it, and that just spools all around. But anyways, that come along allows me to take the pressure off and readjust the position and do fine tuning. This was my biggest issue right here, and that's why I wanted to use a come along. See? With the car back here, there was just no way that I could get another vehicle in here. So I had to spin it around. At this point, I can almost push it by hand around. Or at the point that I can get in here and hook a chain to it and pull it out the rest of the way. But these dollies were an absolute piece of crap. I know they came from some tool thing, but just trying to push them, they were doing this. Okay. Both sides. The wheels won't roll, they just buckle under it. That's where we're at. So, if this trailer, I kept wanting to move it, but he said, no, you don't need to move that trailer. He said he drove in here. Well, I'm sure what he did 40 years ago is he pulled in here like this, pulled up there, then backed up here, and then pulled straight in there. Well, there's no way. I mean, I back up trailers, I back up boats all the time, and there was no way. And what good's a winch if you don't have an anchor point? And to get it over here sideways, I had to put this one in the ground, and it's in there deep now because 3 times it just bent it over.